I think we are live. Never used this platform before. If yeah, I don't want to sound like a rookie and an amateur because I hate it when other people do it. But if you can hear me and if you can see us, please drop a comment in the comments box because I've never used this platform before. Um, Be Live TV decided not to work today. It just went, not playing. So luckily we had a plan B, and here we are. So um, I'm going to assume we are live. Sorry, I'm a bit scattered.
Yes, we are.
Oh, good. Thanks for that, Dianna. So hello to one and all. We're back for a fourth session in this month of April with superstar energy healer Dianna Lane. I hope you're all appreciating and enjoying this as much as I am. Today we're talking healing relationships, issues in their many guises. Whether you're looking for love, hopeless in love, having relationship challenges, or have given up on love, we've got you covered today. Please give it up for the one and only Dianna Lane, everyone. Woohoo!
Thank you.
Someone's dropped. This looks good. Yes. Sorry. So you've been married for 8 years, is that right, Dianna?
Well, the truth is, we met in 2001 and we got married in 2009. So that means we've been married for 11 years.
Ah, right, I was out. Right.
So we've known each other for 19. It's like, what?
Yeah, it's a long time. And I know, I don't know your partner, but I know you, and I know when you make reference to your partner, it's very favourable, it's very positive, it's in a very it's in a very positive light. Someone's noticed I'm called Blue Yeti. Yeah, you've got to bear in mind, Be Live TV that I normally use didn't work. I just went, So I had to come up with another solution at a moment's notice. I'm on a brand new platform I've never used before. And I don't know why I'm called Blue Yeti,
but this lockdown is compelling us and pushing us to interact with each other in different ways, and it's causing us to adapt. So you are more adaptable now. You got onto this new platform, StreamYard, and I like the looks of it, actually.
Yeah, it looks quite sexy. I like it, yes. As always, I can't see who's making the comments. I can see the comments, but can we get them up even? I don't know.
Can we see the comments? I haven't... Oh, yeah. There we go. I don't seem to be seeing the comments. Yeah, so... Oh, yes, there are comments. Now I see it. Hi, Isabel. Hi, Allison. Hi, Ginseng. Thanks for tuning in. Sorry. Oh, we've got 6 people. So this one's kind of blank, as if like nothing's happening. Oh, we need to click the live comments. Okay, now I can see.
Yeah, so
to adapting. That's absolutely right, Ginseng.
So I'm Blue Yeti, and today I've got the wonderful Dianna Lane. We're talking relationships. So how do you want to play this, Dianna? Do you want people to put in the comments when they're ready or when you're ready for their issue? Or do you want to talk a little bit generally first, or do you want to do some general clearing? What's your order of play?
I'm going with the flow. I think with relationships, it's so important to go with the flow because we're always so different. One of the challenges that I have with clients whenever they talk about love is that they really want to know, is he the one? Or, they want to know what's going to happen in the future, right? And I think a lot of the time people are focused on what the other person can give, but in a relationship, a lot of the time it's about what you can give. So I'm ready to go with the flow.
So is that your number one tip in a relationship? What it is if you meet somebody has a need, then by default you'll get your needs met. Is that what you're saying?
I do think that it's a two-way thing. I think one of the important things I learned in my relationship, I mean, from the outside, everything looks rosy, right? I think everyone's relationship with, I like how they talk about celebrities and they look like a star celebrity and they look so in love and then they have kids and everything looks so rosy. I'm sure that behind the scenes, it's not as perfect as it looks. When you have 2 people come together, 2 perfectly beautiful people come together, there can be a lot of tension. So I remember one show that I watched, a reality TV show about 10 things I hate about you. For couples that were really in a long-term relationship, 10 things I can't stand. And I thought that, hi, Karen Bob Shetler Paddock. Hi, Bob.
It's your friend Bob.
Yeah, so I remember watching the reality TV show, and I thought, this is bloody funny. They were talking about all the idiosyncrasies, all the weird habits of their partners, and it's like everyday things. Everyday things can annoy you, right? So I thought that was really therapeutic, and that was real life. And that was a start of, okay, relax. Nobody's got it perfect. I don't think anyone's got it perfect, no matter how it seems. And yeah, I think a lot of give and take. And so the person who says, how about start with self-love? I think in a relationship, whether you're in a relationship or not, I think the most important thing is giving love to yourself or becoming a better human being. If you're with someone and this someone compels you, like there'll be loving, beautiful moments and there'll be fights. And I think the fights are great if it's coming from love, or when the person's in a bad mood, you got to forgive, right? And when it's coming from love, when they push your buttons and they tell you, well, my partner does, right? He knows me so well. And then he would tell me, and then he really push my buttons and I get defensive. And then I realized that's the point where I can grow, become a better person. Thanks so much for tuning in. Samantha, you're here. Allison, Christina, Lawrence, Bob. Okay. Ginseng. Yes, I see what you're saying. Yes, Danny.
So I'm pleased you acknowledged that. You didn't try and turn up today and say, my relationship is so perfect. Oh my God. You have romantic meals. He strokes my hair every night and all this. And so I'm sure it's real life, isn't it? You're going to have challenges. You're going to have issues. You need to work at it. You need to keep the spark there and the momentum there. It's not just going to happen magically, otherwise it's just going to and you need to keep at it. You've got to work at it, but not work as in this work, just as in like keep nurturing it.
I think you're absolutely right. I think you're navigating a journey, and the hot and desirable phase lasts so long. And what I love is that when you go through the different phases, it comes to a place of devotion. It's not, I would say it's a sizzling relationship, but I would say it's a relationship where we're devoted and really taking care of each other. And I really like the analogy of we as a human being, every day we're going out in the battle ring, like a boxing ring, where every day we have a boxing match. We go through ups and downs, challenges here and there, and then we come back hurt. And we come back ideally to a partner, our cheerleader, who takes care of our wounds, says nice things to us, you can do it, and refresh. And that person takes care of you. And then after that, I'm like, okay, tomorrow I'm going out there again. So I feel that's where I am in my relationship. Like I have someone there in my side of the ring. And I just honor that there'll be many different relationships. Maybe it's not a loving partner, but somebody there who has your back. I think, yeah.
Yeah, because in my experience, the passion will last for about 6 months, then it starts to wean off. And a lot of people give in and they think, oh, they're not the one. This has gone, it's a bit stale, a bit flat. But that's the point at which you double down and try and get to know them again. You take things to the next level. But so many people just think, oh, 6 months, it's boring now. I'm done, and they're too quick to bail out. Or maybe it's just me, but that's been my experience.
I noticed that when I was in high school, and I would tell my friend, it's like, how come you're changing boyfriends like you're changing underwear, found it really fascinating. I'm like, how can you do this?
Yeah. It's a fascinating subject in one sense, a deeply painful one in another. But you're going to grow whether you have a painful experience or whether it ends up being a long-term experience, marriage, relationship. You're going to grow because there's going to be challenges, there's going to be pain.
Yes.
You're going to learn about yourself, learn about the other people, learn about people generally.
And how to get over pain, right? When pain and grief comes, like, how do you get over that? Yeah. Well, anyone who's going through grief, like, so, like in my life journey, like when I go through different challenges and I'm like, oh my gosh, I want to get over this. It's like, I'm now like grateful to have gone through all these different journeys because it helps me empathize a bit better. And there are a lot of things that I've not gone through a lot of things too. So when I'm having my clients, I would always question, like, because I don't understand. And then finally, when I try to understand, but anyway, understand or not, I'm just clear the weaknesses. Yeah.
Yeah. In the spirit of this Facebook group, Empower You Energy Healing Group, I just want to remind everyone watching, whilst we've been blessed to have Dianna these past weeks, and we are blessed, we truly are. I want to remind everyone that you own the power as well. You can learn to become your own healer. You can learn to be your own guru. It might take time and practice and all the rest of those things, but you can become more self-reliant. And I'm not saying there's not time to bring in a healer, to bring in an outside positive influence, to hold a space for you. There absolutely is a time for that and a place for it. And I still need that at times as well. So I wonder if you want to speak to that for a little while about becoming your own healer, your own guru. Like, how long did it take you to make the transition from looking at energy healing to doing it for yourself? I mean, do you go to the healers as well, or do you just kind of are more self-reliant?
I would say that I have a superhero team around the world.
Good.
And I absolutely adore and respect them. And they practice different modalities. But in times of urgency and great need, I tend to turn to the ones who practice the same modalities as me, because I find it really fast. So I talk about the journey to becoming. What's your journey?
Wow, there's a big story. What is my journey? I started back in 2000, roughly, on the back end of a drug addiction. My sort of self-esteem was an all-time low. Shocking all-time low. I hated myself, but I knew I had to come back from that somehow. And I started getting into meditation. I went to see a psychic who put me on my path, and so I got into psychic readings, mediumship, Reiki healing, then EFT, then spiritual healing, then coaching, then.
But why did you get into so many? What was your first experience? Like, what was your first aha?
The reason I got into so many, it's like so many others, you think, I need one more course, then I'll be enough. Then you get that, oh, I need another course, then I'll be enough. And then you more and more and more and more. Then I spent $8,500 on a course, and I thought, after I did it, I thought, I'm not buying any more courses. I'm buying courses, and I have bought more.
Was it because it wasn't effective, or?
Because I realised that, even spending $8,500 wasn't the creme de la creme. I was searching for something outside of me.
Yes.
To be enough. And I was not enough. How can you search outside yourself for something? You can't.
I love that story because for a couple of clients who have gone through a journey of searching and looking at so many modalities, I've actually reminded two of them. Your answers are within. Trust yourself. Look within. And I remember one psychic told me that as well. And I was like, this psychic is brilliant. He's from Australia. It's very famous, Francis Bevan. And I remember going for his psychic reading, and I think it was my first, and I'm kind of skeptical. And so he was there, and then he was in a room full of people, and then he was just talking about everyone in the picture. And it was fascinating. And he said some things about me, and I'm like, okay, that's kind of cool. I mean, it could be coincidence. I'm still skeptical, right? I think it's healthy to be skeptical. Like, but I thought it was incredible. Still, I'm healthy skepticism with a dose of openness, and I thought it was wonderful. And then I messaged him, and then he just replied very lovingly. And I still remember that message. And that's a message that I give to people now, like, trust yourself. Trust yourself. Like, listen to your gut. Listen to your instinct. I think a lot of the pain that we go through is when we don't listen. Our body knows. Our physical intelligence knows if this person is the one or is right. Does it feel good? And I remember asking another practitioner, he's an Akashic reader, and then I asked him, like, why do we love this person? In our mind, it's like, it feels a bit illogical, but why do we love? And then he says, love can be irrational. There's no reason sometimes why we love someone. And I thought, okay. And then when I questioned myself, does it feel right? Does it feel strong? Yes. Okay, stop questioning it then. So the line is to trust yourself. Yeah. Christina says her happiest times have been when single, and that is great. Beautiful.
Yeah, there's a strong narrative in the psychology world that we seek out a partner who is representative of a parent, and we're trying to look for that love we didn't get from that love interest. And it can be a healing journey.
What was your experience? Do you see more people finding love partners who are like their parents, or totally different? It's either like similar or different, right?
I don't know. I'm the worst person to be giving advice on relationships, but
it's not advice. It's about who were you drawn to? Were you drawn to a person who was similar to your parent? Like for my case, anyway, my partner is kind of similar to my dad in terms of they're both very quiet people, and my mom is very social butterfly. And so that is the dynamics that is similar. But I hope nothing else.
It balances each other out, though, doesn't it? You're more outgoing and bubbly. He's quiet, so you balance. If you're both like outgoing and bubbly, it would probably clash. Or if you're both withdrawn and quiet, it wouldn't work. But it's balanced, isn't it?
Well, I think there's pros and cons, right? Like, I do feel there's pros and cons to it, because there is limitations of like, I want to go for more parties and he doesn't want to go. And then I feel upset about it because I would love for him to go. And so I think quite a number of friends think, does he even exist? So he tends to not to go to the parties that I want to go to with my friends, but I would go to, well, luckily, thank God, I go to his parties with his friends.
Yeah. But to answer your question, some of the partners I've had have been indicative, reflective of my mother, even though I didn't want to admit at the time. But I can see that now retrospectively.
Yes.
I wouldn't have admitted to that. Yeah.
Wow.
So I don't know if this has been a very organic conversation, and I just want to put it out to the viewers now. We've got 11 people on. It would be useful to us if you want to write a question to Dianna and put on who it's from, because otherwise I'm looking at my phone and I don't always get the my self-worth and self-esteem is low because of having a chronic long-term health problem. I keep thinking nobody would want to be with me because of having MS. And also I have a 9-year-old son too. I'm guessing I know who this is just because who've seen you have MS. Wow, I must admit, I've known you for a lot of years, Alison. I'm assuming that's how it is. A
Yes, it
lot of
is.
years, probably 15 more, 16 years. And I find that astonishing to think that nobody want to be with you because you're such a beautiful, amazing person inside and out on so many levels. And if you can take anything from me saying this to you, you've got so much to offer. And I just, I hope today can help you change your thinking on, having thoughts and feelings that nobody would want you because you have MS. I'm thinking in this moment of Sean Stevenson, um, the brilliant speaker. He was a doctor, Dr. Sean Stevenson. He was 3 foot. He was in a wheelchair. He died some months ago, and he used to say, I've got to have a carer who takes me to the toilet and gives me baths and dresses me every day, and she's a right babe. And luckily, she's my wife as well. And he had a beautiful wife. I suppose the point I'm trying to make is it needn't be because you have an illness, whether you're in a wheelchair, whether you're not in a wheelchair, whether you have chronic disabilities. There's always someone, if he can turn your thinking around, and see your own beauty, and that will reflect out. I'm going to shut up here, but hopefully you can take something from that, Alison. Anyway, over to you, Dianna.
Sorry, I was looking at the statement. So we're taking it a different style today, like slow and easy, relax. It's different from our previous session. So in that whole statement,
You've frozen up.
strengthening self-esteem and delete any weaknesses there. I know, but it seemed to have continued, but never mind. I will just continue. Self-esteem. It's you. It's like you say, it's because of your thoughts, right? So strengthen you to, Alison, would you release all the thoughts that are holding you back, about thoughts that don't serve you and thoughts of poor me or suffering thoughts? Would you, Alison, release all those thoughts? You say yes for her?
Yes.
Okay, so self-esteem feels better. So I hope you feel that shift. Yeah. Okay. Next.
This is Sam Whitaker. Single for the first time since 14. I am embracing, giving myself 100% love, and I'm very happy, but looking forward to finding love again. Good for you. I have no idea where to begin, though. I'm happy just to wait and go with the flow, but want to be open.
So do you feel like you're not open? Yeah, it's that way. So I love giving yourself 100% love. And I feel like because we have different love languages, everyone's got different love languages. It's a really good test. It's only 5 love languages. Physical affection, quality time, acts of service, like if somebody's doing household chores, giving you gifts and giving you beautiful words. And because you and I, our partners, our friends have different love languages, the dynamics is always different. And a lot of feeling good is when there is a match. And when there is a mismatch, there'll be quite a fair bit of dissatisfaction. So delete any dissatisfaction and strengthen to really give the love that you need and want foremost to yourself. And I like the whole topic of giving yourself love. Like, how do you give yourself love? For me, physical affection is really high on the list, but for my husband, it's not quite there. But I've kind of well, I think he had to adapt and evolve with me and become a hugger. And he doesn't like PDA, public display of affection, but I'm like, what? I feel like we're in our own little world. I'm not affected by others around, but he's very conscious of that. And so that is some level of conflict there. Yeah, so are you able to leave the comment? Or thank you. So going with the flow, but it doesn't feel like you're open yet. So Sam, if you can share with us what do you feel is your resistance to actually being open to a loving relationship? Like, what is the resistance? That'll be really good. Who says they're 47?
I think that's Sam as well, because I happen to know Sam is 47, but
It is Sam. So it's like a guessing game for us. So she's 47 and never really been. So what? You're 47. Like, Demi
it's
Moore.
47. Your life has ended. You geriatric, you.
One of my clients, this was a dramatic story. She said, she's like, oh my gosh, I'm premenopausal. I'm going to have my menopause soon. I have no desire for men. So I worked on her, and then within days, she said, oh, I'm finding guys hot right now. And then she's starting to attract guys. And then she tells me, we need another session. I'm attracting guys that I don't like. And then after that, ta-da, she found the one. But anyways, back to you, Sam. Well, when I tune into you and I tune into past relationships, it's not that much of a big deal. I think right now, if you're feeling a little bit depressed, which I'm getting right now, so would you be willing to release all feelings of depression and sadness regarding being single and 47? Okay. There's there's a sadness in it. So whatever physical, any sadness in the physical body, we'll just clear that. Strengthen you to be open and ready and shining in light and clear. Yes. I don't know what your sadness is. Okay, so let's tune in more. It's like, it feels like you're collapsing, Sam. It's a non-physical now. Mental thoughts of sadness, we're going to clear that. It's a psychological pattern as well. So strengthen you on a psychological level and clear it out from you. I'm going to strengthen your shoulder, your rib cage, and your heart, and strengthen the alignment of the spine to be upright, because I feel like you're going forward. Yeah.
I was already teasing you, Sam.
And well, I'm going to clear the sadness about the state of the world, like the state of affairs in the world, and just clear that, disconnect from it, strengthen you to your own path and your own joy. Strengthen your finances more, so that just strengthen it, like every area of your life, going to strengthen it, especially finance. So any stress related to finance, strengthen you to clear that and strengthen you for a clear path to more abundance. There is a feeling of being unwanted. Whether it's yours or not yours, just release feeling unwanted. Okay. So it feels like, do you feel more open now? I feel you're more open at this point And then less sad. Okay. All right.
It's more fun when
Yeah.
you guess when you got to guess who's made the comments, and you think, right, who could that be?
So when you're on this, thanks for being on the stream. I'm doing a fair bit of back end strengthening, so it's kind of faster in my head. Yeah. So strengthen and clear your grief and loss. Okay. Thanks, Sam. We can move on to somebody else.
Don't know if there is anybody else. I'm just looking.
Yes, there's quite a fair bit.
Is it?
Okay. So we've got Ginseng, who says that she has a loving partner who loves her unconditionally, and though it's not the best option.
I just found that one.
She's insecure. Can you bring it up so I can look up? Okay, thank you. Yeah, so she practices the method as well. So if talking about insecurities is the biggest. So we'll look into insecurities and everyone who has insecurities right now. So the insecurities, the first on the list is insecurities about finances. So strengthen everyone to get their finances in order and like so current earnings, expenses, investment and savings. So strengthen it for a beautiful portfolio. Okay. So then the next batch of insecurities is about yourself. That's not about your looks, but there's some level of insecurities about your physique. And I think this is very common with human beings. We're conscious and shy about our bodies because we don't look like the Instagram models and we don't look like the Photoshop models. Blah, blah. So strengthen your physique and owning every single cell, tissue, organ, and skin being the biggest and most visible. Strengthen everyone's skin for rejuvenation, renewal. And I'm going to do extra strengthening for everyone tuning live for the liver. The liver feels needs more life within the liver. Like, I guess, clear the anger and the emotions within the liver. Strengthen the entire liver and bring in all the light. Okay. Insecurities. Can you tell me what insecurities are left, Ginseng? Thank you. And then, yeah. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, this physique. What about the physique? So anyone who's suffering from comparisonitis about somebody else looking better, somebody's body being better. I don't know why, but the first thing that comes up is our skeleton. So strengthen us to our own skeletal, strengthen our own skeleton, right? Yes. Have you been Zooming a lot, Danny?
No, to be honest. What makes you ask?
Because I've been Zooming a lot. Like, I've been on Zoom marathons. I've been on the computer like crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And today I brought in my plants because I remember when we were on a call, I was saying that bring in the plants, right? And it will help you. And I'm like, I did not read anything scientific about how it would help radiation, right? So I was like trying to look it up, and never mind. Why don't I trust myself? So today, out of some level of desperation, because I was really tired from doing a lot of computer work, I brought in 2 beautiful plants to my room, and my room's energy is very much better. Thank you, plants.
You know what your problem is, though, don't you? You're supposed to go to sleep and go to bed of a night time. You know, you're not supposed to be up all night working and stuff. I think that's what your problem is. You need to sleep, you know, over night time and sleep. Get some. Not right.
No, I do sleep at night. I have very good sleep cycle, except when I'm on a high, like when I drink tea, and then I'm like, oh, there's a deadline, then I would stay up. But usually I'm very good.
All right. Because I see you posting and I'm thinking, God, it must be like 3, 4 o'clock in the morning over there and you're posting stuff. And I'm thinking, really?
I think that was probably after our call when I'm on a high, right? Like, woo, and then feel so inspired. So I love the feeling of inspired to act. But maybe 5 out of, well, most days I'm actually having a regular sleep wake cycle because I really respect that about the body. Like, I feel if you sleep between 11 and 1, it really helps the body to repair. So yeah, I honor. So insecurities of the unknown, anger was a big culprit from dad, mom, late hubby, and daughter. I do feel like the biggest one is just insecurities about self. It's just affecting you within, and it's like all the nervous energy. Just gonna clear that about the insecurities within yourself. So everyone's tuning in, all your insecurities, lump it together. And clear it. There's still there is still some insecurities left about looks a little. So strengthen everybody to their looks. Delete criticizing oneself about one's looks. Strengthen to everyone looking in the mirror and just loving every inch of yourself. Delete the critiquing habit in the mirror. Strengthen everyone for loving oneself. And all the insecurities that have not named, please release and go. Thank you. That's nice. Health in general, yeah. I want to ask, hey Nancy, hey Angela, how are y'all feeling? Did I put people to sleep? How are you, Bob? I'm really curious to know how you are. You feel good, energetically.
I've got a sore throat. If you wouldn't mind taking a quick look at that, it keeps it. I've had it on and off for a while. It just keeps coming back, and then I managed to get rid of it a little bit, and it comes back, and then I managed to
Got
get rid
it. I'm getting that your ears are affected, so strengthen your ears and strengthen your left temple and left eye. A little bit of twitching there. Delete that. I'm strengthening your right shoulder and beside the spine, especially the knot along the spine. Strengthen, delete the tension there. And it's non-physical. A lot of mental stress about not working. Are you enjoying your time?
Yes and no. Yes and no.
What's a no about?
I guess the no is, don't get it started.
I kind of know what it is. Never mind, spit it out. Should we speak in code?
Just the no is the macro economy, what's going on in the bigger picture. It's I'm looking at a much bigger picture than my own life, and
And the media?
well, not even the media. I like what the media spew out and tell you isn't. I just look beyond that. I'm looking at a much.
Ooh.
Um,
Yeah, I get it. And this feels like a sense of, I don't know, I'm getting like a bit of panic also. So I'll just clear that. Delete the stress in the eyes, at the back of the eyeballs as well. I'm going to strengthen that. Like the underneath the eyeball, above the eyeball, strengthen the space and reset.
yeah, I have gritty eyes most days, and when I get in the morning, they're fine. As I once I've been in the shower and stuff, but a bit gritty.
Strengthen the tension in the eye. Like if you're anxious and you know it, look on up. If you're anxious and you know it, to look around. So I think we don't really use our eyes fully. Yeah, so if you're anxious and you know it, look on up. And then you feel, wow, you don't really look up so much. So I think our eyes are strained by looking at our beautiful screens. So strengthen everybody's eyes and clear that. How do you feel in your throat now?
It's a lot better. It's weird because before I asked you, it was sore, and then when you said, "How do you feel your throat now?" I'm thinking, "What are you on about my throat?" Yeah, 10 out of 10. Thank you. I owe you one. I owe you one. Thank you.
Most welcome. We need Danny's throat to be highly optimally functioning. So strengthen everyone to what is happening in the world. Strengthen, but why delete all the worries and the concerns? Like, what can we actually do by being concerned about that? Really, I remember asking this really smart, well-read healers, like, what can we do when there's so much turmoil, conflict, wars, suffering, torture, poisons, pollution in the world? Like, what can we do, right? We can only do so much unless we have a ton of money to be in power. So, I mean, strengthen us to be able to do what we can do in our own little world. I mean, that's my take. And strengthen us to, I remember Leslie Darling, we're the lights of the world. Strengthen us to be greater lights in the world of inspiration, motivation, of love, and productivity. I see that someone's saying that distractions at home. I resonate with that. Like strengthen everyone to observe and pick up the distraction. Like, I know there are more important things, and then we tend to like be distracted by the little shit things that are actually not important. So I remember like the greats of the world or the really successful people of the world, they end up maybe offending a lot of people and ignoring a lot of people and neglecting a lot of people and things because they are really on that path of their to ensure that their vision, the beautiful vision of their life comes true. Like, so strengthen everyone for that. And I think that is one key to being happy. Today's topic is love. So strengthen everyone to have a good quality loving relationships, whether it's a partner or your friends. And strengthen everyone to have a beautiful loving relationship with themselves. And strengthen, so there's quality of relationships, but I do note there is quantity. We cannot rely on that just one person, honestly. Where do you go when that one person is not around for whatever reason? So strengthen us to also build a healthy quantity of loving friends and family and your soul family or real family, doesn't matter. So strengthen everyone to that quantity and quality. I feel there's weakness to quantity. There is a fear. So delete that fear of too much time with people, too much. There's a fear of being exposed to people who are not good and beneficial, who would cheat, lie. Oh, I'm getting all of this. That people are afraid to go out and be exposed to people who aren't good. Ugh, and it's really terrible. I'm getting that. So can you tune into this, Denny? Will you be willing to release the fear of being exposed to this kind of people?
Yes.
So strengthen everyone's radar. Strengthen everyone's radar to, and also before that, when it comes to love, and if you're looking for love and you're open and ready and willing and wanting it to happen in your life, strengthen you to actually pick and choose, like in the catalog, for a person of your dreams. So it starts off like with a description. And sometimes when I see some friends' description, I'm like, what? Delete my judgment. Because they're saying things like, to me, it appears really superficial. And I'm like, okay, if you can manifest that, I'm not going to squash that. But what I feel is the qualities of the energy of the person, the values of the person. That to me, I think maybe that is my perception. So whatever that you want, if you have a clear vision of what you want, may it come true. So a clear vision of the partner you want to bring into your life. Honestly, I wrote a list of the qualities, and then when I met my then guy, and then later on we started dating, and I think maybe 2 to 3 years later, I found the list again, and I looked through the list, and I'm like, cool. He has those qualities. So yeah, I think, do you believe?
You've frozen up.
Do you believe in law of attraction?
Hopefully you'll come back in a moment. But you have frozen up for now. Hope you're starting to move.
Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
No, I was asking you if you do believe in the law of attraction.
I do, yes. I think you'd be foolish not to believe in the law of attraction. And it's funny you said you wrote down the qualities you wanted in a person, and then found the list later on. I did something similar. I wrote down qualities I wanted in a person, and then I met someone,
Mm-hmm.
and we went out. We dated for 2 years, and then I found the list, and I was like, "Oh my god, I got that person I was asking for." Yeah, it's happened since as well, but a while ago now. But yeah. So yeah,
So that's a super powerful tip. Like being open, being happy. Yeah, Bob, you asked me the question of how do how do you improve on good energy? You're such a brilliant person. I don't know how to answer you. I think I would answer it as simply the first thing that comes to mind is do what makes you happy.
Bob has got a brilliant mind, very analytical. He's always researching. He's got so much information and awareness of certain topics. He's very passionate, and yeah, he's got so much to offer.
How did you know him?
And I met Bob. He was in the a group called Harvey's group, the Big Life Inner Circle, and he knew Isabel initially, and it was Isabel how I got to know Bob a lot better. And he's in one of our other groups, the Empowered Love subscription group, and he's been there more or less since day one. Bless his heart. I've got loads of time for Bob. He's a lovely, lovely guy. Very giving.
Bob recommended me to watch The Revenge of the Nerds. And so in the end, I found the show, but it was such an old show and the quality was so bad and it kept freezing. So I really hope that I get a good quality version and I craft out some time to have some laughs about The Revenge of the Nerds. Anyways, I found, okay, so we've got, okay, Allison says, could you bring up Allison's comment? I do have conflicting feelings.
Yes.
About being in a relationship. Often find myself thinking it's easier just to be single, yet I don't want to be single. So that inner conflict about not wanting to be single is weak for you. So that whole sentence at the end. It's like a cry. Like that's what I'm getting, that I don't want to be single. It's a cry. So strengthen and clear the cries and the tears and emotions related to that. And strengthen you. So I feel like the energy to bring someone new into your life, well, based on my own single experience and also my clients, I think in general it's true because I've heard Tony Robbins when he was talking about love, you become very attractive when you're happy and whole and you're complete and you do not need anyone else. Like when you have your life sorted out and you have a whole bunch of activities, you're a very interesting person and you're just having a complementary partner, not a partner to fill up gaps. Like I need this person in my life. No, to be complete. To be complete and to have a filled life. And then when you're really very happy, you are very attractive, you know, like you're successful and success is relative. So, and also it's your choice, like how successful and the kind of success you want to bring to your life. I think the life that we have right now is the sum total of the choices that we've made. So I got to take responsibility for that. Like your life as of this point of time is due to the sum total of the choices and the actions and the decisions you have made. So whatever new that we want in our life, we just take responsibility again and we get to decide, like a catalog again. Who do you want to bring into your life? So Allison, that the whole sentence, don't want to be single. Okay, clearing, it's a physical thing. So just strengthening your physical self. And also strengthening your chest, your heart, your back, and delete the heaviness in shoulders, the responsibility. Your 9-year-old feels fine. I think strengthen your energy, your metabolism, your zest for life. Your sense of purpose. Delete any neediness and desperation from any singletons. Because anyone, whether in business or relationships, we can sniff desperation from far, right? And when somebody showcases their desperation once or twice, aren't we very wary of their interacting with them the third or fourth time?
Yeah, desperation and clinginess is repellent. So it's actually a paradox. If Yeah, I don't know how much I should reveal here. Well, perhaps better keep my mouth shut. But it's a paradox, isn't it? Like when you don't need anyone, that's when you'll attract someone who's perfect. But if you feel like a neediness and a longingness, that's
Yeah.
you see people sense that. Yeah.
So strengthen everyone to receive and to trust and to flow and to have faith that the universe is working in your favor perfectly, perfect timing, perfect everything. Divine timing. Strengthen everyone to their age, whatever age they may be. And strengthen everyone to their circumstances and anyone struggling. Then release all patterns of struggle. A lot of times it's not ours because we live in really abundant, beautiful, cozy, comfortable, high-tech times, really. I remember asking a whole bunch of students, do you like to go back to the simple days? I think we do want our high-tech, but in a country club style communal setting. That's me. That's my dream. Like organic farm, organic food, happy, easygoing life with a high-tech on that country club style of living so that we can still communicate, earn money through online Zoom trainings, okay, and healings. Yeah, I'm meeting all my clients on Zoom. So I'm still working with Allison's the Don't Want to Be Single. So single, not single, dating, not dating, with a partner, with multiple partners, having sex, no sex, having lots of sex, whatever combination, for everyone to be strong. Delete all judgment, expectations of how things are supposed to be. There was one thing that came to my mind, and Bob was there as a friend for me, and I really appreciate Bob. I was asking Bob, how do you get over grief, like losing someone that you loved? And I think he said some words of wisdom. I can't remember what they were, but he was there for me. And then after which, it was a journey for me because the grief would come like in waves. And oh yes, he said that it would come in waves, and then maybe each time it will be lesser in strength. And I was like seeking my superhero team around the world, like, can you clear this for me? Can you clear this? I don't want to feel this grief of loss and tears and the heart-wrenchingness of it all. I lost a loved one. And I don't want to feel this. And I remember, like, maybe I need to let go. Like, because everyone says let go, right? Letting go. And then it wasn't helpful for me to let go because I wanted things to be different. And I remembered, okay, why don't I change one word? And I just changed one word and I felt much, much better. So rather than let go, it was let be. Just let it be. This is the way things are. Why do I have to struggle in my mind of trying to manifest things the way that I want it? Because the universe has greater plans for us. And I think there's always a lesson. And the lesson another lesson I got from that grieving experience was because I lost a loved friend. I really deeply loved this friend, and I lost. And then I was like, okay, let go, let go. No, I was like, let it be, whether it comes back or whether it goes completely, just let it be. And the love that I wanted to give, to care and to nurture and to lighten and to share jokes with and to share conversations with and to have outings with, like all the love that I wanted to give. And I realized, hey, I got to bring it back to myself. So someone earlier, Isabel Martins, you said self-love. And I think that was one of the greatest things I learned, to all the love that I want to give to somebody else. Like, why don't I give it to myself? I want to give a massage, I give it to myself. Oh, you know, today what happened? Something, a little bit of a breakthrough for me. Like, I'm really into touch, right? So I was aching from head to toe. And I asked, and like my husband is not really wanting to give a massage. And I'm like, let it be. Let it be. He doesn't like to give it, so let it be. So I convinced him to get one for me, and I gave him as lovingly as I could, because I'm a bit annoyed still, right? A little bit at the back of. So as much as I could, gave him a really good body massage, something that I wanted for myself. And I felt much better giving it at the end of it, because I'm like, okay, he looks better. He's not the most complimentary person in the world. And I'm like annoyed, because when I do give massages to friends, other friends, they were like, ooh, you're the best masseuse ever. They would ooh and my husband would be totally silent. And my husband, I'm like, it's okay. And I'm like, what? Where's the ooh and the and it's like most delightful, you know, kind of like in long-term relationships, if anyone's been there, it's like one of those things would be like, but one of the issues that you have to contend with is like the sizzle dies off. We really take each other for granted. Yeah.
Do you not think that one of the most profound things I ever heard was somebody can only meet you as deeply as they've met themselves? And that one little bit of information changed so much in my head. I was like, wow, you can want somebody to be a certain way or to connect with you on a deep, profound level, but they can only meet you as deeply as they've met themselves. And I don't know if that's what's going on, but
Oh, I love that, and it's really profound. But for my case, I believe it's the different love languages. The different love languages at play, like because of the differences. And he would feel love when I do like the housework or I clean or, and cook, and I would say, oh my goodness, go get a maid. But so that's the way, like, oh my gosh, I don't feel the love when he does that, like when he does the housework and all that. I'm like, but when I use my mind and I know, okay, that is the way he gives love, and I will transmute it to love, and I feel the love, and then I'm very grateful for it, right? Or when I see, I mingle a lot of the time, and then when I see people have like dirty cars, my husband's very car proud, like everything's really clean and neat. And when I see people with dirty cars, and I'm like, yuck, I do appreciate my husband better. So I think it's a love language thing. And when you say people can only love you as much as they love themselves, that's a different way of saying it. Yeah, I think that's true.
yeah, I suppose it isn't necessarily always self-love, but yeah, I take your point. The language of love is obviously a key factor, and even knowing that all these languages in the first place is massive. I think knowing what yours is, knowing what your partner's is key, and then trying to work around that and still try and get your needs met. And
For sure, because it was revolutionary for me, because I feel like when I grew up, I didn't feel loved by my dad. And lo and behold, 1980s, Gary Chapman comes up with the 5 languages of love, and I'm like, then I translate what my dad was doing, and I realized, oh, he loved the family immensely through acts of service. Same number 1 love language as my husband. Like the working so hard, providing, thinking and analyzing and taking care of the family's needs, wants, desires as much as they could, right? Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's not my love language. Thank God. I had dogs. I think I lived without dogs for 5 years, and I felt, oh my God, I can't do this. And so I know I need dogs in my life because they feel that sense of affection for me. Like my dog's incredibly lovable and affectionate.
Good.
Okay. So we've got Allison's struggling with grief. Oh, when your son was 1. I don't mean to pry, but did you really love your partner? I mean, when you were with him, like, did you struggle with him? Okay, so the key word that is weak is struggling. And then strengthen you to when he left. So I think it's a really good point that you brought up. Like, okay, so for everyone here, strengthen when partners have left, whether they passed on or whether they chose to leave. Strengthen to anyone who leaves our life at any point of time. Strengthen to all those who stayed. Okay, got it. Yeah, it feels better. Yeah, it feels better. So let me know about delete resonating with struggles.
My throat is peachy, still peachy. It's like,
really?
Yeah, it was really quite sore coming on. I'm thinking, oh God, I hope I don't have to talk much. My throat is really sore. It's like, and now it's peachy.
Thank God for that. Oh, thanks for calling me world-class healer. Thank you.
If the cup fits.
Either that or you're exaggerating.
Well, how often do I say that when I'm making adverts?
What do you say?
How often do I say that when I make adverts world class?
I want to analyze now. World class, but not world famous. And that is the way it is right now. Because I think I really like Timothy Ferris. It's like, you don't want to be world famous to like millions of people, but you just want to be connected with the people who do matter, who are influential. So strengthen everyone with doing business, whether it's your side business or your actual full-time business. Strengthen everyone to connect with influential people who value your work and appreciate your work and love your work and love getting results from you.
Yeah, fame. I've seen fame destroy so many people. You know, it's.
I mean, talking about the news, but what about the people? Do you know anyone personally who became famous?
Barefoot Doctor. He walked away from fame. He had over 1 million people following him. And that was back in the day when there was no Facebook or Twitter, or there was only 3 or 4 channels on the television. That's when he was famous, and he walked away from it. He says, "I'm done with all this shit," and he walked away from it. Yeah.
Oh, I would love a private conversation to find out a little bit more from you because I don't really have the information. I just saw a Wikipedia post and I'm like, when I did strengthening for him, I was like picking up stuff. He didn't even tell me anything. I was like picking up stuff, and then he's like, "Ooh."
Yeah. Well, even Russell Brand. Russell Brand said recently, "I hated fame. It was destructive. It was toxic." And he says, "I walked away from fame. I'm not interested in going back on the big media channels anymore." And he says, "I'm doing my own thing now." He says, "I can bugger off that side of things."
Thank you. It's very interesting. I think what happens is that quite a number of people who are famous suffer from the image people have of them. And then you take the nasty ones who can, or, even us, regular people, like when we do good or have pure intention, and then there's somebody who twists your words or twist things and make your life, just one person out of your network of 5,000, whatever your network size is, it just takes one person. Because I've always wondered, like, what in the world, why is this person having a name in a foreign language like Chinese or Arabic or whatever? Like, people cannot find them, or they put a picture of a flower or they put a fake name. Like, why? Like, people, then when I ask, they say they're hiding from one particular individual because the individual was nasty. And I'm like, oh, okay. So strengthen everyone so if your friendships were like a garden, strengthen everyone to nurture a completely beautiful, curated garden that is always well-maintained and is self-maintaining. Our friendships and our circle is so clean that the poisonous plants, I feel bad to compare plants to the bad people because I feel like the nasty ones are worse than plants. So, yeah, may they not grow in our garden, basically. May the trash take themselves out. So sometimes I feel like when people leave, the trash could not take your beautiful, positive energy, for instance. They took themselves out. So strengthen everyone for maintenance and boundaries and to listen to your gut. Because I feel like a lot of the time people fear going into loving relationships because they may feel like the good and the great and the wonderful are no longer available. But strengthen our radar. They are. Yeah.
Okay. So we've been going for an hour and 15, now and 20 minutes nearly. It's been
An hour and 13 minutes.
Is it? How do you know? Oh, yes.
It says up there.
It does. It does. It's a new program.
I love it. Oh, you put it up there. The reason why I didn't say anything, because I don't feel any weakness from it. Oh, okay. Finally, we can put the new comment up there. So the last thing we'll strengthen is you want to stop slipping into victim mentality. Now you brought something that has weakness in there. So everyone in the group who identifies with being a victim. So clear being a victim, not a victim, being a victor, not a victor, win, not winning, losing, not losing, strengthen, to release all patterns of being a victim from this lifetime and other lifetimes, and strengthen us through all our ancestors, our descendants, delete misinformation out there that is affecting us, delete the bombardment of negativity streaming in from the news. It seems quite hard to avoid. But one thing I did, which I found really helpful, but I have to do it for my parents, they were streaming the news, and I'm doing my work, but I'm not hearing it, but I'm affected by it energetically, I guess. I'm hearing the news out there, and I'm like, oh gosh. So I go out there and I have to put on the smart TV, and what do I put on? I have to think and investigate what will change their energy. And so I put on something. My mom doesn't like stand-up comedy. I've tried so many stand-up comedians whom I love. I love them all because of their brains and their wit to craft their stand-up comedy. And my mom's like, this is not funny. Oh my God, this is crude. Both my mom and dad would judge it. It's like, oh, that's not funny. And it spoils my enjoyment. And here I am like laughing, and they're like, oh, that's not funny. That's disgusting. That's crude. How is that funny? I'm like, shit. And so that doesn't work for them. And so the only thing my mom likes, and both of them, I switched the smart TV and put on YouTube, and I went to Just for Laughs, the Montreal show. Do you know Just for Laughs?
I think I've seen it before, yes. Yeah.
So I put that on, and I'm like, then they start giggling and laughing, and I look at them and I'm like, okay, I've done my work here, so I go back into my room. Do what makes you happy, do what makes you joyful. Okay, so back to Allison's victim. It is a mentality. So strengthen, delete the mind. So the one thing you can do, always get the mind out of the picture, strengthen physical intelligence, strengthen us to be more disciplined with the thoughts that we bring. So I talked about the discipline in terms of nurturing the friendships in the garden, the friends in the garden, in our friendship garden. Beautiful flowers, every flower that you love, every plant that you love, in cactus even, because of their peculiarities and interesting natures. Back to mentality, our mind strengthen us to choose the thoughts, because it's like, I feel like a little bit like a game. When we have a thought, like out of our 60,000 thoughts, is it in a day or an hour?
A day. Per day.
Sometimes I feel I have so many. So they say around 80% of them are negative, right? And out of all the negative, around 80% of that is also repetitive. Means that you have a repetitive negative thoughts. So strengthen everyone to clear all the repetitive negative thoughts that they've had in this lifetime, other lifetimes. Delete any repetitive negative thought about themselves, about others. So I feel like it's mind training to be impeccable with our thinking, and impeccable with our word, and impeccable with the actions that we take. And then we do what we say we're going to do. Impeccable about our word is not just about, I feel like it takes such great discipline. Well, I've been disciplining myself very consciously about never speaking poorly of anybody as much as possible. Do not participate in any gossip at all. So the clue that I have, like, this is the person that I don't want in my inner circle, is when they talk shit about other people. And I'm like, okay, out you go. I've closed one eye to some people like that, and guess what? I get bit back badly. It's like, this person's talking shit about other people, then I'm like, I'm just ignoring it. And then finally it just comes back to haunt me. So same with our thoughts. So strengthen us to be impeccable with our word to ourselves. What do you have to say about this, Danny, about our thoughts?
Well, this morning, for example, I was awake at 6 o'clock, and thoughts were coming in, and they were negative. They were very negative. But I observe them. Because so many people think they're true and that the thoughts are part of who they are, and I'm not. So I was just lying there at 6 o'clock in the morning, just allowing them to pass through me. I'm observing them. I observe those negative thoughts because it's so easy to believe them, roll with them, and then you go into this despair, this pit of negativity, this pit of darkness, and you end up getting up. And by the time you get up out of bed an hour later or whatever, you feel like shit. So, so I just observe it, think, oh, that's interesting, and they pass through you. It changes like a ticker tape going across your mind. It changes all the time, as long as you don't engage with it. So observe those thoughts, those victim mentality thoughts or negative thoughts. You won't get it right all the time. I don't. Sometimes you get caught up in it, but the more you practice thinking, that's interesting. Ooh, where's this coming from? Just observe. That's the best advice.
Yeah, I love it. I've got the same practice as well. Just let it be and let it flow out of you. Like, do not let it stick with you. And when you don't react to it, it passes. It literally passes.
Every time, yeah.
Yeah, because you had that instant, that choice to believe it or to react to it. Or, I just love it. Just before coming on this call, something happened in my house, and I'm like, oh my goodness, my old self would have reacted as well, like gone into the turmoil, right? And I'm like, I was wondering what's up with me. I'm like, I'm actually non-reactive, which is good. To like a little bit of chaos and vulgarities and around me, right? And I think that's been my challenge, strengthen everyone to their parents. My parents squabble like World War. It's not easy to see or hear. It's or tune out or not react or not going to save them. Like, I remember some healers telling me, you cannot change other people. And I didn't want to believe that. And then it changed to, you can't change people, but you can influence people. Okay, that was good. And then I start influencing or changing the environment, like changing the music or, the channel. Because left to their own devices, they would watch. Well, once upon a time, my dad was watching really dark shit. And I'm like, how can you feel light and optimistic when you're watching those kind of films? And when those films were made, there was Nordic Scandinavian series, which, yeah, I'm sure they are interesting. If you get into it, they can be addictive. Anything can be. And so, isn't it a sign when the actresses take their own life? When there's such a dark, film talking about the dark humans who commit horrific crimes and the cops are trying to find them, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, come on, that's not healthy. I mean, to me, it's common sense. You nurture your thoughts, you nurture what you eat, you self-love, nurture the input. And if the negative thoughts pop up, just ignore them and don't react to them. And you notice that they disappear. So
You've frozen up again. Hopefully you'll come back in a moment.
a highway. We want super highways for good thoughts. Strengthen everyone to have good thoughts. Highways. And good feeling thoughts, highways. Strengthen everyone for that.
Haven't you
Yes.
Heal Your Love Life course? Haven't you got or something in the pipeline at least?
Yes. So I've got Heal Your Love Life pipeline. I'm really excited about it. I'm going to be launching it soon. So stay tuned. I'll pop it in the comments and I'll share with you the link. Probably going to be starting in May. Heal Your Love Life program for $22 US. It's going to be like a 14 or 15-day program, and there's going to be strengthening to everybody's love life, to their goals. I think it's going to be fun, and we're going to learn a little bit more about men and women and how we're different and how we think differently, because how do we navigate the world of dating and friendships, right? I think at the end of the day, it's like, how do we become better in interacting and having a better relationship with ourselves and others?
So who's it
Yeah.
for? So who's it for? If anyone's watching this thinking, so I wonder if it's for me, is it, what are the different categories? I hate to put labels on people, but who would you say it's for?
Who would I say it for? If you want to heal your love life.
Yeah. So you talk about people who are single, people who are already in a relationship, people who.
Yeah, because I'll be doing the back end strengthening for whatever issues that they present. So, and then I'll be doing sessions to address people's individual issues and general issues as well. So it's going to be fun. Hope you stay tuned for that. Yeah.
So
Thank you.
I want to give thanks to Heal StreamYard, to the new platform. This is a free platform. If you're a live streamer out there, StreamYard, check it out. It's free. If I'd had more time to set it up properly, it would look a lot better than it currently is. It's a dog's bollocks. Be Live TV didn't come up with the goods, so they let us down, but StreamYard. I want to thank Dianna Lane. Isn't she amazing? Isn't she brilliant? Thank you so much. Thank you to everyone for showing up. Diana's going to pop a link in the comments when she has a moment for her new course, Heal Your Love Life, $22. I was on your Heal Your Money Beliefs, and that was cool. And you got so much amazing feedback, and you helped so many people to blast through the blocks over that couple of weeks.
Yes, it was phenomenal. I was really, really grateful for that session. And it was like, wow, it was really, really powerful. And I worked a lot, so I'm like, okay, next.
Yes. So until next time, much love to you all. Are you coming around on next Thursday? Is it next Thursday? It's going to be the 30th of April.
The end of April. Yes. Thank you so much for tuning in, Chandra. Thank you, Samantha. Thank you, Allison. Thank you for everything, too. Nancy, Nylan. Thanks for tuning in. Isabel Martin. Ginseng. Allison, your parents bicker to strengthen to the years of bickering and squabbling that we've had to tolerate and suffer with. Delete our suffering, strengthen our neutrality. Strengthen to let go of that pattern, and strengthen to not be affected by it. Allison, if you're available, I will Zoom with you because I promised you a free 15-minute Zoom session. So because, yeah, I'll hook up with you, Allison, if you're available.
And a shout out to Isabel Martins, my partner in crime, my biz partner, my friend of years now. She's amazing. She's also the co-admin of this group. So big shout out, Isabel.
Yeah, if only we had 3 people on the group.
we could do that. We could have 3 with this program and Be Live TV. You can do that. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know. Cool.
Maybe you could do it for next time. We'll find out.
For 30th of April, I've got a request. I think it'll be fun if we can hang out on Zoom. Yeah, I think that'd be fun to see everybody, talk to everyone.
Okay, they've relaxed the 40-minute rule as well on Zoom. You can have a free count and sit. Yeah, they've relaxed the 40 minutes. You can have, since the lockdown. So yeah.
Wow, awesome. Okay, great. Thank you, everyone. Much love.
Yes. Bye for now. Bye.